as we always do. And the reason that I'm using this is to help you remember that no matter what we're doing with the movements, we want to keep our breath connected with our movement. So as we go through today, if there's something that you are not able to do, it's fine. Do what you can do. Try to do some part of it. But always, if there's something physically that's not going to work for you, focus on your breath. I'll keep reminding you of that. So to begin, I want you to lift your ribs up away from your hips. So if you're in a chair, move forward on the chair. And then as you lengthen your spine, you're going to feel your ribs lift up. Take a minute to squeeze in your shoulders. Feel the front of your chest opening up. You can even tilt your head up a little bit, put a little smile on your face. Feel your body expanding as you do that. It feels nice. And just in that one little breath, lifting your head, squeezing your shoulders, putting a smile on your face, you can feel different right away. So keeping the shoulders back, or just pull them back and let them hang down. Let's take a long breath in and feel free to keep your chin tilted and that smile on your face. Feel your ribs expand out to the side. Fill your whole body up. We're going to sustain that breath for a moment so the breath has a chance to swim through the cells. And as you begin to exhale, feel your abdomen gliding in toward your spine, pressing that breath out. Take another one, inhale. Practice pulling a smile on your face as you're bringing the breath into your body. Make that part of your practice. Think of it as exercise for your mouth. Fully empty the breath. Again, breathe in. Practice that smile. Visualize the breath filling every cell and bone and tissue and joint. Allow your body to expand fully out to the side like a big balloon. And as you begin to exhale, imagine your breath is sliding out through a straw. So it's moving out long and slow, even and soft. Do one more. Breathe in. Lifting your chest toward the sky, putting that smile on at the top of the breath. And releasing. Letting the breath slide out your body. Feeling your abdomen move in toward your spine. Fully empty out. And do one more. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. Good. Now close your eyes if you haven't yet. And in this moment, recognize the difference in what your body feels like. And the reason I want you to keep closing your eyes at different points so that you can have that inward journey. Because remember, it is when we connect with our body that we are able to gain better understanding of the messages that our body is giving us. So we're going to do some lifting the sky before we go into standing position. So lace your fingers and change the way you normally do that. And the reason we do that is to bring new pathways of neurons in the brain. We're going to turn your palms out, breathe in. So this is lifting the sky. So push straight up like you're holding up the sky. Sip in the breath as you lengthen your body. And as you part your fingers, close your eyes and let your arms float down toward the earth. Be aware of the space between your fingers. Fully empty your breath. So when your breath feels like it's out of your body, press your abdomen in a little more. We're going to repeat. So again, reverse the way you normally lace your fingers. Turn your palms out. Inhale. Press up into the sky. That smile on your face. Sip in a little more. And with your eyes closed, if you're able, just breathing out. Even, slow, and soft. If you're out not able to lift your arms that high, you want to just use your elbows. That's an option. If you have any scar tissue or anything else that might impair your movement, you're just going to go up as high as you can. One more. Press up into the sky. And then while we're at the top, I want you to push a little higher through the heel of your left hand. So I'm going to mirror you. Lengthening the spleen. We're going to ease off. And we're going to press up again on the inhale. Lengthening through the right side of your body. Opening the liver. So we're letting gravity release. Because remember, gravity is always sinking us down. So the lifting up helps to take the weight off the organs and improve circulation through the body, which is why it's important to try to think about your posture when you're sitting. Hard lesson. We're going to do one more bonus one now that we've lifted the sky all the way. And this time, half a breath out, up, press all the way up through both hands. Taking a breath again and exhale. For our last breath before we go to standing, we're going to do spinal cord breathing. I can show it here. I'm going to also show it standing. So you're going to curl your tailbone back, squeezing your shoulders, look up. And as you exhale, bring your elbows together and tuck your tailbone under. Breathe in, curl the tailbone back, look up. Exhale, tuck under, elbows together. Remember, you can also have your hands just sliding up and down your thighs if your arms or you have any area that feels like it's not going to work to do that much movement. So you can do it standing or sitting. It's done either way. Nice again. So if I'm standing, I have my feet a little bit apart. So as I curl my tailbone back and look up, and then exhale. Same movement, right? So you can pick today what you feel like. If you want to stay seated, that's perfectly fine. Breathe in, and traditionally you'll step out a little bit on the inhale, curl your tailbone back. Exhale, bring the feet together, tuck under. Inhale, step out, put that smile on your face, curl the tailbone back, and exhale. So it's called spinal cord breathing because we're creating space between the vertebrae, which is part of our central nervous system. Breathe in, look up, exhale. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders, smile into the sky. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last one, inhale. And exhale. If you are able to stand with us now. So we'll do our next part. Feel free to be next to a wall, or remember to have a chair nearby so that you have something to hold on to. I didn't grab my chair this morning, but I have a wall nearby. We're going to start with shaking the tree, and the reason we're doing these first couple ones is to remember that if you're feeling a little groggy, which I can identify with through my experience of moving through cancer, you can always use these to help stimulate your body and get a little extra energy. So this one's called Shake the Tree. I want you to lift your shoulders up as high as you can, and then drop on the exhale. Breathe in and drop. My knees are softly bent, so when I drop, imagine that all the weight in your body just fell down through the floor. You're going to lift and drop. Open your mouth with the exhale. And smile. It's fun to laugh with this one a little bit. See how high you can lift the shoulders and how heavily you can drop. My feet stay flat on the floor. And the full movement, kind of flick your wrists at the bottom. My arms are out away from you, so don't keep them close to your body. Imagine there's an egg under your armpit. This is also good to warm the joints. So if you have a lot of tension in your neck and shoulders, this is good to help let go of all that tension there. Shake. And again, nice one to breathe in through the nose with an open exhale. Think about all that you want to let go of. So hear the sound of your exhale. You can turn around a little bit. You can move the arms out to the side and up in the air. Like you don't care. Shake like we're shaking branches. So this is also very traditional. Lifting the arms up, shaking the wrist. What we're doing is we're just shaking some energy. So if you're struggling with neuropathy, this is good. You're helping to get blood into those tissues in the hands, right? Lifting and dropping. So this is all about circulation as well as letting go that tension that is going to constrict the capillaries. You want to let go of that so we can get the blood flowing in there. Now we're going to slow it down. And when you come to a stop, close your eyes, keep your arms by your side, and without bending your elbows or anything, just bend your wrists so your palms are facing the floor next to your side. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your face. Notice if you're feeling a little tension there. Put that smile back. A big practice of the day. Feel your breath completely filling your body. Notice any tingling that you might be feeling through your fingers or palm. It's helpful to visualize the palms as you're inhaling, pulling up the energy from the earth. It's coming up through your feet and connecting with the center of the palms. We're entering spring, so if you think of how the plants are nurtured with the roots deep into the earth, getting that nutrients from the earth, holding it up through the roots, allowing that plant to grow. Within our body, we can benefit from visualizing that same potential within ourselves because we have the ability to heal. Medicine supports that healing, but we can help it along with the way we perceive the healing happening. Now we're going to open your feet just a little wider than your hips for stability. And we're going to move your hips. So with your knee bent, pivot one hip forward and then the other. Now think of your arms going in the opposite direction. I have little fists with my hands. I'm going to tap in the front at my hip bone, and in the back at the kidney point, which is right below your ribs. The more you bring the hip forward, you'll see that your arms are just going to swing. I don't know if you ever played tetherball back in the day, but this always reminds me of that tetherball game. There was a ball on the end of the string. Really give a hearty tap if it's available for you today to tap in your body without any pain. At the hip area, this is where white blood cells are produced. And we're tapping at the kidneys where the adrenals live nearby. Those are the or the little gland that releases cortisol, which is what is our stress hormones. We want to tap and get rid of that stagnant energy. Good. Slow it down. Great. And now bring your feet together. We're going to do a balance pose with opening the hips. So if you can find a chair or a wall, something to hold on to, that's most helpful in case you need it. You may not need it. So I'm going to start with my big toes together. So touch your big toes together in front of your body. Shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Move your heels out. So your big toes are still touching. Now shift the weight into your heels. Lift your toes and bring your outside of your feet parallel to one another. You are in direct alignment with the outside edge of your hips. So this is a very stable base. Now, I want you to bend your knees. And we're going to put the weight in one leg and lift the knee without bringing the toe off the ground. We're just going to do this a couple times. So before we go into a full balance pose, we're going to practice shifting. Sink. So when the foot touches the ground, feel your weight shifting over. So I'm not popping my hip. The whole body is sinking into the leg. So this leg is going to lift up. Now sink it down. Let your body sink down so the weight's shifting over more naturally. If you think of a statue in a park, that's a vision that I always try to think of, those bronze sculptures. They often will just have one point on the ground, like a horse hoof or something, and the rest of this big mass is up and flying up into the sky. It's amazing. So think of your body strong, connected like that bronze sculpture. And we're just going to shift. Your toe can stay on the ground. Shift. Sink. So first, we're going to ease into those balance postures with cloud walking. So this would be done. Normally, if we were together, we'd be walking around the room. For you right now, the main part of cloud walking is to really think about connecting with the earth. So I'm going to turn this side a little bit. I'm going to flex my foot and my wrist. My wrist is in line with my waist. Put the heel and the wrist down. So as the foot sinks down to the floor, feel the full surface of the foot connecting to the earth. Lift up like a feather. You don't have to lift your toe much off the ground, just enough to sink the heel. See my wrist bend? Into your breath. Feel the full weight of your foot on the ground. I'm not sure that's the best way to demonstrate this, but I think you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. Exhale. Inhale. Sink down and exhale. Breathe in. Flex the foot, put the heel down. Sink. Again, lift. Flex the foot, plant the heel. Feel the full surface of the foot touching the earth. Then lift the other foot. So do not shift over until you feel stable. Put the heel, the center of the foot, the ball of the foot, and the toes. Do one more on each side. Looking good. Remember, just go slow. It's very easy to go fast. That's what we've been conditioned to do. It's difficult to slow down. Breathe in as you lift. Exhale, sink. And one more on the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Great. Gold stars for all of you. Bring your hands up. Cross your palms, lay them on your abdomen, and for a slight moment, close your eyes. Taking a full breath. Check in with your face again. Make sure that you are not holding any tension there. Now we're going to leave your legs just like they are. We're going to do a very similar movement. We're going to do standing crane. So this is where keep that something nearby that you may need for balance. We're going to cross your arms, sink the weight into one leg, and all you have to do is lift your heel. If you aren't able to lift the toe off the ground, who cares? You're not being graded. You can lift the foot up, that's fine. If not, don't worry about it. A breath or two. You're going to come out whenever you want. I want you to flex your foot whenever you do come out. So your heel goes down first, just like we were practicing. Sink into that leg. Cross over. Shifting onto the other side. Breathe in. Remember, your toe can stay connected to the ground. If you are holding your leg up, try tucking your tailbone under and lifting your ribs up. It opens up your psoas muscle, which is the balance muscle in your body. Flex your foot. Sink down with your exhale. Feel your arms like wings, lifting up, light like a feather. Flex the foot. Sink down with the exhale. Shift the weight. Be that bronze statue, strong and apart. Up. Now, this time, as we shift, we're going to bend our knee and bring our foot behind us. So if you tap your knee together, you'll notice if you bring your knee back a little bit, you'll get more of an opening in the front of the hip, which is an area we want to keep open. Flex your foot, sink down. Try the other side. Remember, your toe can stay connected to the ground. No one's going to say anything if you don't lift your foot. Not a competition. Sink. Put the heel down first. Let's do it again on the other side. Breathe in. So my standing leg is bent. It gives me more stability. Flex your foot. Put the heel down. Sink. Inhale, lift up. Flex your foot. Sink. Breathe in. Flex your foot, giving the wrist, exhale. Again, breathe in. Flex, sink. And now, I know you might be getting tired. Hang in there. Lift your legs straight out. We'll do 3 on each side, like we've been doing. Bend the knee, flex your foot to come out of it. Your toe could stay on the ground on this one too. And you're just gonna lift up as much as it's comfortable for you. So height is not a bigger reward. Sink down. Hold on to that wall or chair as you need to. Flex the foot, heel down first. Sink. Connect with your breath. If you're feeling tired, just pause. Or go back into it when you're ready. Sink. Last one. Normally we would hold these, but it's just as important to get used to feeling your weight moving back and forth, maintain that balance. We're gonna go very slow. Everything is done light, soft, slow, and even, just like your breath. Empty your breath. Here's the challenging one, so hold on to something. Legs gonna come behind you. Remember that toe can stay on the ground. Feel your ribs lift up out away from your body. Arms are empty if you can. Bend the knee. Flex and sink. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. A little more challenging in this one, right? Breathe in. I promise we'll do something less strenuous after this. We got one more balance thing. I'm going to take a little break from all this. Breathe down. Last one on each side. You've just been watching. You have one more round. Long breath in. Great job. And down. And just as we did before, circle your arms up like you're gathering energy. Cross your palms, touching your lower dantian. This is an area that we believe is the beginning of where your life began, right? Near your abdomen. Eyes are closed. Find your breath. See if you can make your exhale a little longer. And release. So our request today was for the joints. Remember that as we go through these, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, a lot of standing stuff. You can do this in a chair too. What we're going to do right now, I want you to use a wall if you have one, or your chair, and we're going to open the hips a little more. So remember, the deep bends in the body are the elbow, under the arms, here at the groin, and the back of the knees. And every day we want to keep those areas open so that the arteries aren't getting constricted too much, particularly if you're sitting a lot. So we've already done our standing crane. Now we're going to do a little bit of balancing. And remember, the toe can touch in the front and the back. Same arm is going to go in the opposite direction. So if your leg is back, your arm is forward. And your leg doesn't have to go high. Little swings, remember, touch that toe as you need to. There's no wrong to this. You're doing what you can do. If it's going really fast, well, then slow yourself down. And imagine your leg is swinging like you're on a swing set. Feel it be free and loose. See where it wants to go today. This is why it's helpful if you can hold on to something. Just don't worry about the balance. Let your leg go where it wants to. Maybe it wants to go high. Remember those days of being in a swing. Yeah, now flex your foot. We're going to put the heel down first so we have full foot on the floor. Plant the weight into that other leg. Let's go to the other side. And remember, there's always one side that is easier to do than the other. Remember, as the leg is back, the arm is forward. And go slow. Little baby one. So if you're close and slow and low, you have your foot flexed so the heel doesn't drag, or you're using your toe front and back. Hold on to something. Practice using your smile. And maybe even open your mouth with your exhale, because the more you get used to hearing your breath, the more you're going to be conscious of how you're breathing at other times. That's really important, because often when you're feeling anxious, especially when you're going to the doctors, you can feel anxious without even being aware that you're breathing more shallow. So listening to your breath is key to help getting yourself in touch with what you're doing with that breath. Let's just swing out, put that heel down. Woo, take a moment. Rest up a bit. And now we're going to do a little bit for the hips. So again, our knees are bent. I have my legs a little wider than my hips on purpose for balance. Bring your hands to your hips. And imagine there's a circle drawn from the outside of your feet all the way around in a big circle. With your knees bent, trace that circle. Bring the hips back to the side. Tuck under the tailbone. Pop your hip out like you're bumping someone. Remember the bump. If you're of that age, you can remember the bump. That was a dance, wasn't it? Woo. Big circles. You can try this with your eyes closed or looking down. So your gaze is inward and you're exploring. If you're feeling any tightness anywhere, maybe you want to stop. Take a long exhale. See if you can feel the muscle let go a little bit before you go on around with your circle. And now let's go in reverse. It's spring, about ready to get that hula hoop out. Great. And again, if you need to sit down, feel free to do so. We are going to serve tea next. And again, this is for the joints. And our whole point of serving tea is to get circulation moving. But if you need to sit down and just want to focus on the arm part, you can do that sitting forward in the chair. I'm going to come close to remind you that we're going to be serving tea. So you want to imagine you're holding your teacup from the bottom, and you don't need a teacup filled with tea to do this. You simply need to remember that your thumb stays pointing up to the sky the whole time. And that's really the secret. And if you do this little move here with me, you'll feel like, oh, it's really awkward. But what you're feeling is your tendon wrapping around the bone, and that's where the benefit comes in for your body. Okay, take a sip of my tea. I'm going to bring my arms straight back. I'm going to curl my wrist. Start with either hand, it doesn't matter. Roll the shoulder forward. And when you curl your shoulder, see how my spine is arching? My hips are going one way, the hand is going the other. If you're just joining us today for the first time, this takes a long time to get. If you've done it 100 times and you're like, I still can't get it, that means you're normal. Curl that wrist. Fingers are pointing back. Roll the shoulder, lift your elbow up. Keep your knees bent, tuck your tailbone under. If you're in a chair, just sit forward in the chair. You can still do this. Roll, elbow forward, lift the thumb. Make that circle into the sky. Exhale, draw back. Curl the shoulder. Swing it forward, lift the elbow. Big circle into the sky. Draw back. Curl the shoulder. Slide your elbow forward, lift it into the sky. Make a big circle. Again, curl the wrist. Roll the shoulder forward, lift the elbow up, big circle. If you understand this pattern, which is kind of like a figure 8, you can make it a mindful movement by imagining that your mind is right in the center of your palm, and you keep your eye connected with the palm. But if you're just starting out, follow along. Put your mind with your breath. When we inhale, as we lift up, so we're opening up all these lymph nodes through the breast and armpit. And as we exhale, we're opening the spine, that space between the shoulder blades. Do one more on this direction. Let your hips move. Remember, if your body's stiff and rigid, it's much more difficult. We did those hip circles for a reason. Now we're going to reverse. So we're going to slide your hand forward, bring it out to the side, serve tea to your friends. Forward, just do what you can. Essentially, you're bending your elbow, lifting your palm up into the sky like you're picking something up over your head. Roll the shoulder, keep your palm up. Slide your hand back, curl the wrist, bring your hand forward, lift your teacup up. Make a big circle up over your head. Roll. Yes. Notice what's going on with your spine. So breathe in. You're arching back a little bit if you can. Opening your heart and lungs. Roll the shoulder. Tuck that tailbone under. Opening the kidneys, the spine, back of the heart. Inhale. Opening the heart and lungs. Smile up to the sky. Exhale. Last one. Big circle. And bring your hand to your abdomen. Take a moment to close your eyes for just 2 breaths. Notice how the shoulder you were just moving feels different than the one that did not move at all. Now we're going to go to the other side. So palm forward. Remember, it's always easier on one side than the other. We're going to slide straight back. Curl. Keep your thumb pointing up. Roll the shoulders. So you're arching, lifting. Slide that hand forward. Make your circle over your head. Bring the hand forward and slide it back. Curl the wrist. Roll the shoulder. Lift the elbow. Feels really awkward, slow, but it's the best way to teach it, I think. Open to suggestions. Slide back. Curl the wrist. Roll the shoulder. Lift the elbow. Bend your knees. Tuck under. Make that circle. Good. Slide back. Nice pace, everyone. Lift up the elbow. Bend your knees. Make that circle into the sky. As your hand is back, the hips are forward, arms to the side, your hips are in the other direction. So the hula hoop with the hips is still active. One more. It's our last one in this direction. Slide back, roll, lift up, big circle. Lots of friends to serve tea to. Now we're going to reverse. Remember, it's an endless refill, so don't worry if you spill your tea. Just practice again. Curl the wrist, slide the hand forward, lift your teacup up, tuck under, make that big circle. Bring your hand over your head, slide the hand forward, curl the wrist, sliding the hand, lift up, open palm to the sky. Notice how one side feels different than the other. Good. Did we do both on this side? I lost track. I think we did. Okay, now we're going to do 3 rounds with both hands. So remember that your hands are going to cross without touching. Sorry, the lighting is poor in this room, but here we go. We're going to cross, so I'm going to come closer. Elbows. Remember to keep your thumbs up. So curl your wrist, roll forward, lift the elbows. So this is what it looks like in the front. Bend your knees, tuck under your tailbone, keep those thumbs pointing up, cross your hands, bring your arms out to the side, and then start curling the shoulders forward. As your arms cross, slide your elbows back. Curl your wrist. Roll forward. So feel that arch, so your tailbone's under. Inhale, thumb points up, open your heart, put a big smile on your face. If you're looking silly and you feel silly, that's a good thing. Do one more, try it. Breathe in. Laugh hysterically, especially if you have a wet head full of tea. 3 in the other direction, only 3. You can do it. Cross over. Again, if you're feeling pain, just watch. Smile, breathe in. Curl the shoulders. This is the wonky part. So roll those thumbs, curl the wrist, bring the hands forward, bend your knees, open your heart, big smile in the sky. Exhale, curling, tucking under. Last one, I promise. Open your heart, put that big smile on your face. And exhale, bring your palms together at your heart. And now we're going to slide your hands down the front of your body, like you're brushing down. This little move is to balance out your energy. So we're crossing over. In the theory of energy work, there is a warm and a cool, or male and female, yin and yang in the body. So you have your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. And that's what we're talking about. We are brushing down these sides. It helps to balance out the energy in your body. My toes don't have to lift the floor, but just shifting and brushing down the opposite side helps to balance you out again. And the other thing you can do while we're on the brushing, feel free to sit down as you like. You're just going to cross your arm over your chest and down your arm, brushing. Remember that brush I showed you earlier? If you have a shower brush, for instance, that brushing can be done this way as well. It's really nice whether you have clothes on or not. So sliding down, and we use the inside of the arm. Doesn't really matter, but that allows you to brush over your open palm. And this is used if you are needing to change your mood. Good. Do one more on each side. And now we're going to do our tapping. So we are starting with the little tapping. Remember, you can use your fist or fingertips or open palm. And the first thing you're going to start with is on the side of your neck. Come across your shoulder. Remember, you can do this every day. A reminder that we look at each limb as if it were a rectangle. So we have a top, a bottom, and sides. When you go down the side and you come to the elbow, give some extra tapping in that joint. And down to the fingers, side of the fingers, the outside of the arm, the underside. And also keep in mind, tapping in the thumb, you could use this handle, as I mentioned, as an alternative. And we're going to go to the other side. So tap, remember, options that you have. So if an area is very tender, just change the pressure. But we are stimulating circulation. Sloughing all of the dead cells out of the tissues to go through the body. Come all the way down. Finger, finger, finger. Other side. Bottom. Skip, I need to get in that joint a little better. Now we're going to come back up, lift your arm and go under the armpit. So this is where you may, just depending on what your condition is, your situation, down the side of your ribs. Change the tapping to anywhere that's extra tender. And we're going to go softly across the center. So fingertips are helpful in the middle, but this is an area right here in the center. If you tap this, helps stimulate the thymus. So that's a good area to tap into to stimulate your immune system. And this is something you can do during the day while you're watching TV as well. Let's go to the other side. Side of the ribs. Chest. Now we're going to use both hands. We're going to go in little circles. So go down to the groin, the pelvic area, the whole intestinal area, circles. Or you can tap underneath the ribs. So your liver is on the right side, spleen and pancreas on the left. If it feels tender or a little painful, that's normal because you're also tapping near the diaphragm, which lies under the ribs. Down into your belly area. Maybe you have been eating some leftover holiday Valentine's candy. And now we're going to work on the back. So open hand is helpful if you don't have a tool that you could tap with. Come up, lifting your arm, tapping the back of the ribs. Go to the other side. And you can also lean forward, use both hands, palms back, a little fist. Open palms, whatever works for you. Usually we do this a little bent over, so we're opening up the space between the vertebrae a bit more. Come all the way down to the base of your spine, down to the pelvic area, and tap on the tailbone. So tapping on the tailbone is the beginning of your central nervous system. It's the first thing that was developed in the body. And it helps to balance your nervous system, calms the mind. Who knew? Bring your hand around to your hip bone, tap. Remember, this joint area is where we have more white blood cells. Now go into the groin, which we call quad. So the point where you bend your leg, that's where you want to tap. Go down the front of your thigh, all the way down to the ankle, if you can. And again, you could be seated for this. Come up to the inside, toward the ankle, outside, one or both hands, it doesn't matter. And back. So catch your glutes like you're spanking yourself. Go down the back of the thigh. Do an extra few taps behind the knee and down to the ankle. And come back up to the other leg. Start down the front of the thigh. You can do any direction on the leg, inside, outside, back. There's no wrong, as long as you cover it up. Good into the quad extra, down the inside of the leg. The outside. And now come back up to your glutes, just like you're spanking yourself. Come down the back of the thigh. Today, for time purposes, since I was a tardy person on Thursday with my yoga class, I'll try to be more prompt today. Use your knuckles. Dig into the palm. And feel free to sit if you haven't yet. And now we're gonna squeeze and rub the base, come up the side of the fingers and pinch at the tip. We're gonna go next to the head because I'm sure you don't wanna do your feet and then your head. So we're gonna go through the fingers, giving that little massage with a pinch. Remember to rub the sides, front, and back together. When you get to your thumb, go all the way around the base of that joint. Another reminder, no negative impact to do this more than once. And again, if you're struggling with neuropathy, this is a good way to help remind your body that you want blood in there. Now let's go the other one. So use your knuckle, rub in the center. Start on the outside, go up the side of the hand. A little pinch on the end. Squeeze. Remember, if you're feeling any joints that are extra tender, that just is a reminder that they're asking for you to give them a little more attention. So you can always find time. Maybe if you wake up and you can't go back to sleep, those little moments, what would happen if you started rubbing your fingers or your temples, or simply putting your hands on your rib cage, crossing your arms while you're laying in bed and feeling your breath? You'll go right back to sleep. Now we're going to take our fingers and open them wide. Lay them on the outside edge of your face, and we're making little circles. So my fingers are spread out. This feels very nice. If you get tension headaches Wonderful exercise. Go on the side of the head. Just massaging back on the side of the scalp. Little circles all the way back. When you come to the nape of your neck, change to your thumbs. Use your thumbs right under the base of the skull. So I'm pushing up with my thumbs. Hopefully you can see that. Concentrate on just using the thumbs up under the base of the skull. Let them trace the back side of your neck behind your ears. Your other fingers can just be on the top of your scalp. Everything's making little circles as your thumbs find their way around your ears and come down under your jaw. So all your fingers are going to move in front of your ears now. Come around the bottom of your jaw and very softly lay your fingers light like a feather. Slide your palms up your face to the top of your head. And repeat that 3 times with your eyes closed. Soft hands like a feather. Take a moment to just notice how you're feeling. And next we're going to do your feet. So feel free to keep your eyes closed if you need to. I didn't get a chair, so I'm just going to sit on my stool here. But if you aren't able to cross your feet, remember you can use one of those laundry balls to help roll over the feet. So when your socks are off, we're going to use your knuckles today. So bear in, so at the base, right under the ball of the foot. Press in. You could use your elbow as well. For time purposes, but I want you to practice this with this technique to see which one feels better for you. So use all of your knuckles and just press in and slide from the heel toward the ball of the foot. Usually one knuckle has a little more pressure, right? So you can just move it across the bottom of your foot, come to the side of your foot, and then use transition to your thumbs. Press down in the soft points. And we don't want to forget points around the heel. So rub, pinching, circle around the heels. And as you like, massage up the side of your foot. Other hand's going to pull the toes back. Use your claw fingers. Massage the base of the toes. Whoops. Now take your fingers. Sorry about that. And we're going to use our pinchers. Do the top, bottom, and sides. And pinch at the end of the toe. So yes. Go over again. We got one more foot. Pinch. Wiggle, wiggle. Pinch. Then take your hand and thread it between your toes. Rotate. And I'll rub the top and bottom. Take a moment when you put your foot down and notice how that side feels different than the other. Always important to just notice that awareness. So now we're going to switch to the other foot. Start with your knuckles. And rub right at the ball of the foot or use your elbow. Dig in there. If it feels really tender, remember that's a sign your body says, give me more. I want more of that. Good stuff. Start at the heel, push up. You're just pressing up using the heel of the hands. Save your fingers for something else. On the side of the foot, transition again to your thumbs for the top. You could use your knuckles this way as well, but I think for me, I feel like I can get a little deeper with my thumbs here. And use your thumbs to go around the heel, thumb and index finger or middle finger, whatever is working. Let's work our way back up toward those toes. Pull them back. Massage the base of the toes. Pinch, go through each toe. So pick any one that you want to start with. There's no wrong on that. You're just getting the top, bottom, and sides all together and giving a little pinch at the end. When you're finished, take your other hand and slide your fingers between your toes. Rotate your ankles. See some nice smiles, which is really wonderful to see on a Monday morning. Now, rub top and bottom. Foot down, just take that little moment to feel the difference in how your feet feel. Rub your hands together. Find the heat in your palms. And today, we're going to take this ball, we're going to hold it near your heart. As you pulse in, plant that smile. It is an exercise you have to practice, but your body knows when you are practicing. It gets easier the more you practice. With your eyes closed, pull that smile deep into your body, and as you feel your hands pulsing near your heart, massaging the in and out of your breath, allowing that pulsation to move deep into your body with your breath. Imagine your breath is moving into any part of your body or your mind or your spirit that could use extra support right now. As you breathe into those areas, imagine the breath collecting anything you want to let go of. Feel your body carrying it away with your exhale. Just send it out into the world so it can be recycled into new energy. Let's think about the qualities of the heart when we let go of anger and frustration and hostility. It reveals the qualities of kindness and compassion and joy, loving kindness to ourselves. When we send that energy inward, it allows us to nurture and heal our own body. The more we bring those qualities within ourselves, the more we can share them out into the world to those around us. So gently touch your palms together. Take a moment to recognize the gift that you have of allowing yourself to be aware of your hands touching and all that they've done for you in this journey in your life. Your feet planted on the floor have carried you forward into this place, and they'll move you forward in the rest of your journey ahead. And no matter what you were able to do today, be mindful that you are living inside of a miracle. And whether what you've done here shows on the outside, you've honored that beautiful body that you've been given. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I'm very honored to be here with you. I appreciate you tuning in, and thanks so much. I hope I see you either Thursday at 9 for yoga or next Monday. Hope you have a great week.